Honestly, I feel like this is gonna be a crazy take to say. I'm really excited for the Scube event, man. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Plus Three, the most inclusive and fastest and best and most viewed podcast on the Speed Cubing TV channel. I'm Matt Rosman, joined by John Epley and Manu Singhal. I want to give a quick shout out to a new partner of Speed Cubing TV, Pre-Fire Hand Warmers. Manu, you had the chance to kind of test them out, give them a little try. What you think of them, man?
Yeah, last week at a competition in Pomona, I had a chance to try something out. They're pretty cool. The material is nice and soft, which is kind of nice for like cubing hands. Keeps your hands like just nice and warm. Pretty excited. Really, really cool to have like hand warmers. I mean, people use hand warmers all the time in speed cubing, so awesome to have them on as a partner.
Absolutely important. Just keeping your hands warm, keeping your hands ready. Way too important. If you want to get in on pre-fire hand warmers, we got a code for you. Use code SpeedCubingTV at prefire.co to get 20% off your order. We hope that this it is a lot. You can't get 20% off for anything now, man. Like it's crazy
Economy?
work. In this economy, can't get 20% off for anything. But again, that's code SpeedCubingTV at prefire.co for 20% off. I want to move in. We have some big things to talk about. The day draws nearer. US Nats is coming. I know we've made a big deal, obviously, as everyone should, about the 3x3 event coming in to Nats. But John, let me start with you. Besides 3x3, let's take it outside of there for a second. What are you most excited for? What particular event are you most excited for?
There's so many to pick from, 16 other events, right? And it's really cool because get to experience Worlds. There's so many storylines that I got to experience firsthand. You kind of got to see, all the end by ends, all the unique events have their storylines play out. But now it's going to be US specific. And so I picked a US specific event, and I'm going with Square One. Specifically, the fact that Samir is not going to be at this event, that's going to leave it between really Hassan Kanani and Max Shaw. There are a few other people that could win it, but I think that's really the battle that I'm excited to see. Hassan is one of the few people that can do two look on Square One, which is kind of insane. This solve on screen does not look like it's two or even three or four look, or even a complete solve. But a two look solver, two guys that are maybe not as used to seeing the grand stage because Samir is the two-time world champion. So this is their chance to really shine. And there's a lot of other fast solvers that can win too. We got Ryan Pilot, we got Brian Johnson. So it's not just those two, but I think those are two people that have maybe been in the shadow of Samir. And this will be cool to see the US shine and see what they can do.
Yeah, good one. That's a good one. I'm going to be excited to see that one. For me, there's actually a ton of them. It's hard to pick. I'm going to talk about 3Blind in the little minute that I have here because I think the top solvers in 3Blind are just killing it at the moment. Tommy, Noah, and Stanley are all performing extremely well. And then not to mention, we got Liam Chen, Ryan Pilot, Graham, of course, who we'll talk about later. I mean, take a look at this solve from Tommy in Vietnam. Like, this is like a 13 or something. And it just like looks absolutely incredible. Great stuff. Okay, never mind. I guess that's going to be later in this video where he did get a 13 in Vietnam. But he also had some really good results in China as well. Of course, Tommy coming second at the World Championship this year is the world champion from 2023. This guy is insane under pressure. I interviewed him at 2024 NAC, and it's just crazy like how much clutch is just in his veins. I think it's just amazing. Noah Swore has had some great results in competition as well. He also was in the finals of the World Championship, and actually he barely missed out on the NAC podium, I believe. Actually, perhaps the NAC win as well. So he's going to be looking for revenge. It's going to be great stuff. You'll want to tune in for 3Blind, I think.
Honestly, I feel like this is going to be a crazy take to say, but this is one of the few times where I'm really excited for the Scube event, man. I'm seeing a lot of solvers who are kind of, it might be the most even field in terms of like who's at the top, right? Like who's going to be competing. You have Carter, you have Dominic Radici, you have Zane, you have Simon Kelly, you have all these really clutch solvers. I get that Scube definitely skews towards the US in terms of its like overall, I guess, dominance base. But when you really look at who's at the top, like this might be the closest thing that we get to like a super competitive thing, like more than any other event. I do want to give like some shout outs, to like Clock, and to, I will say, like the big cubes between Maddie and Max, just because I think there could be a crazy storyline there if Maddie pops off, unlikely as that may be. But I don't know, I'm just really excited for Scoob, just off like I don't know. I really don't know who's gonna take it. Like it's that close, so I'm really hyped for that.
I think that any event other than what we said here, you are valid to be mad we didn't include it. I mean, I think all 17 events are going to have really, really crazy storylines.
Yeah, I think not everything is going to get streamed. I'm pretty sure multi-blind and FMC won't get streamed. I mean, those kind of just make sense. Right. But yeah, I think everything is going to be pretty insane. There's some type of storyline. As part of the commentary team, that's something that we're working on right now, is like building up all of like the various storylines behind all the competitors at the nationals. Again, remember the format is really different. This time, there's only like for 3x3, there's only 32 competitors coming in, and those 32 are like among the best in the entire country, right? So in round one, I think you're gonna see like I think half of the field is gonna get eliminated, and the people who are gonna get eliminated are sub 7 solvers. Like it's gonna be just ridiculous, and it's just really, really, really high ceiling. Quick shout out for a couple other events that I'm interested in. You all know that I'm very, very partial to Megaminx. I think Megaminx is such a fun puzzle. I'm really excited to actually see how Hewon does. Hewon so got third place at the World Championship. Kind of wasn't really a name going into that final, but obviously a huge result for him there. And he has a good chance to get on the Nats podium as well. And then also going to shout out OH. We got world rank number 1 and world rank number 2. That'd be Luke Garrett and Max Park. They're both going to be competing. That's just going to be amazing. Of course, two fantastic competitors. They're combined are going to compete, I think, in like 17 events or something across nationals, which is just incredible.
Yeah, all these guys are regional stars, which is so cool to see. I mean, if you go to any local competition with Luke Garrett like I have, he just sweeps every event. He casually gets gold at every comp he goes to until he goes to these comps, and then all of a sudden, all the big names are there. So it's going to be cool to see all these big fish that are usually in small fonds to all be in one room. And it's always a culture shock for me when I get to go to these events, which I'm excited to be at nationals. I'm going to be there and get to experience it firsthand. So it really cool again to see the format of this one too. It being, like Manu said, invite only. They only have 32 people for 3x3. And it's going to be stream oriented. They have the schedule oriented around not pumping through 2,000 competitors, but just getting the best competitors through, making it a really nice viewing experience for people that are there, but also on the stream. So that new format is very exciting.
Yeah, and if you want to be like John Epley and you want to get to experience all these big fishes who come from small ponds in a much larger pond, you can get tickets at thecubicle.com. And if you use the same code for pre-fire, using code SpeedCubingTV, you can get a 5% discount on your tickets. Help support your favorite cubers. Help support us. Again, that's code SpeedCubingTV for 5% off your tickets. Now, continuing on nationals, lot of discussion centered around the format and a lot of it, relating to, say, stuff like PSL. John, let me start with you. Would your choice for 3x3 champion change if it was head to head?
I loved this question. The answer is yes. It does change because I picked Max Park originally in I think our last episode. But if it's head to head, I'm going with Maddie. He just popped off when he was at PSL. I think he got a 3 2 times there. So I think there is a lot of fear and there's a lot of pressure upon the 5 solves you get in a big finals like nationals or worlds. But something like head to head, I think it just puts another level of pressure on people and maybe another level of aggression. So Maddie is a multi-sport athlete. I think it's something that he really thrives in, is that head-to-head format, as we clearly saw at PSL, or as we saw in other unofficial events where he in the relays. I think this was also at nationals where I think he got another 3-second solve. So it seems like he really shines and is just due for something great in the WCA. So I wish we got to see head-to-head format because I think just limiting Maddie to 5 solves is it makes it a lot more volatile. And I think that I would be very, very confident that he's just going to run away with it if it was this more high pressure format. Other than Luke Greiser. Luke Greiser, don't use me as motivation. I think you're going to win too.
Yeah, I'm going to say, well, so it's weird because I'm going to both agree and disagree with John because I actually picked Maddie to win just overall anyway. So I actually don't think that my winner would change because I think Maddie is basically exactly as John said. I think he's a really, really good single solver. I mentioned it. I keep mentioning it week after week. You guys got to go onto his Instagram and his Facebook. You have to see the solves that this guy is putting out there, right? Like he's getting like a 3 with an N perm. And it's just like completely flawless turning. Like he's clearly meant to be really, really good at singles, but he's also like, he's a little bit of a two-way athlete in that way too, where he also has the ability to get really good averages as well. It's just kind of the question of which Maddie is going to show up. I'm believing that the Maddie who can get amazing averages and really go toe-to-toe with Max Park is going to show up here. I do think that the podium overall would change a little bit. I think I had Max at second. Max is not really built to get these amazing singles. He is probably one of the most consistent top solvers in the world, and he probably would not make the podium if it were head-to-head in my books.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna agree there. I think that Maddie was my winner when we met up last week, and if it were head-to-head, Maddie would absolutely 40 billion% be my winner if it were head-to-head. Again, well, I think I said this last time as well, and I said it after we recorded as well, looking at some of his solves. Like, he's built for this kind of stuff. It's art seeing him turn. Again, some solvers are great with consistency. We're talking about Max. Max, you expect like a tiny range of times for him, like every time. Like, you know exactly what you're going to get and almost any Max Park solve. But in these bigger moments, especially when it comes down to just the pressure that, the increased pressure that you're going to feel in a head-to-head context where everyone is looking at your solve specifically, including your competitor, this is stuff where guys like Maddie are going to blow the roof off places. So, no, I think this is Maddie. Like, it's Maddie yesterday, Maddie today, Maddie tomorrow, or whatever thing I said about Dylan like a few months ago.
Well, yeah, I actually kind of want to touch on this also because I think Dylan also has a chance to do really, really well in a head-to-head format. I mean, he's been in so many head-to-head situations at this point, winning his most recent one at PSL, right? And he also recently beat Max in an average of 5 format too. So that's why, I think Dilly has a good chance. But a big omission for me is I'm kind of curious what you all think is no Greiser, no Luke Garrett mention.
I did mention it, Greiser, and I said don't use me as motivation because I think he's going to win as well. If there was a way for there to be co-winners, I would pick Maddie and Greiser. But you can tell he's lurking, bro. He's using us as motivation, and so we got to watch out. We got to watch our mouths.
I don't know if I would necessarily put Greiser up there the same way that I would put Garrett up there. I mean, provided that Garrett doesn't get an injury on the field like he did at Worlds, I think he's going to be okay. I think that he's probably one of the more balanced competitors, not to the same level as Maddie is when it comes to singles and averages. To me, Greiser's the kind of guy who, gets hot. Like, he might start off with something that's a little bit slow, but he locks in and then gets like a great average at the end of it, which again, for this, it's going to be great. Head to head, it's a little bit more shaky, Need I remind you of PSL? We don't want to go back to that. That's kind of why I wasn't mentioning Greiser in a head-to-head context. That's all I'm saying, when you get in, when I'm not going to go further on that. I don't want Greiser to use me for motivation. I have to make a beat for him.
Oh, no.
November 1st and 2nd, we're going to see. I'm going to get to be in Providence, Rhode Island to watch it live. If not, it's going to be right here on Speed Cubing TV, which is going to be really cool. The fact that we're going to have it in our own home channel. So, make sure you subscribe here to watch out for that. I believe we're also going to be doing a post-game show too. so we can wrap up all the events and hear from maybe hear from some of the top competitors. So a lot of really exciting things to come. I feel like there's always exciting things happening in the cubing community nowadays.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, well, we got a highlight of the week. John, I want you to take this. This is from Graham Siggins' multi-blind record. Do you want to break this down for us?
Yeah, so Graham Siggins recently got a 63 out of 65 multi-blind solve. It's 61 points. The way the math is done, you take the number of cubes that are possible, subtract the number of cubes that are solved. You take the number of unsolved cubes, subtract that from the number that are solved, you get 61 points. So 63 solved cubes minus the 2 unsolved, you get 61. He is the first ever multi-blind world record holder that has lost his record and then gotten it back. Every other record holder has gotten the record and then held it and dominated for a certain period of time where he had to claw it back. So I think that was really cool about his story. Ro Hessler is the one who took that from him. Ro's actually not going to be at nationals, so that's going to be leave the field a little bit open, at least for the national title. But I'm sure that Ro is still going to be lurking to take this back. So this is the first time in the history of the event that we've seen this back and forth. I'm sure that there's been times where people have shot at the record, but now we have two guys that are actively competing, actively practicing that are going for that record. And you can see how elated he is. And in the video, you can see that he shouted out his late father and dedicated this to him. So you know that he's really, it means something to him. So this isn't just another record. This is a big moment. So really excited to see where this event goes from here. It's only going to continue to grow as these guys continue to do it. So 65 cubes is nuts, but I'm sure that, again, this is just where he begins because he's already done bigger attempts, and it's just a matter of time before he gets them official.
Yeah, one thing I definitely want to mention, I've been in the car with Graham as he's driving around all over the West. For this competition, this happened in Reno, Nevada. Graham lives in roughly San Diego, California. So he drove 10 hours one way to compete in Reno. I don't even want to know how many feet of elevation that is. And for it to pay off in a world record is just absolutely huge. I've been in so many situations right next to Graham where he's gotten 62 out of 65 and missed it by just one cube. I think there was one where he missed it by just one move. It was just like a slice mistake somewhere. So huge congrats to one of my favorite cubers of all time, Graham Siggins. Just amazing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Big congratulations to Graham on the new world record. So I was going to do a read. What is this image? Wait, what is that? Huh. What? What is it? What? So this is Stu Cube guiding. Well, I don't think that's photoshopped. I think that's Mark Hamill in Star Wars, but I assume we're gonna pretend that's Dylan, right? This is Stu Cube leading Dylan to the promised land. I don't know why Marinick threw this up. This is with no context. Listen,
number one podcast, baby.
Here. Number one podcast, absolutely. Well, listen, back to priorities here. Before you wrap things up, again, want to let you know you can get tickets for U.S. Nationals at thecubicle.com. Get 5% off with code SpeedCubingTV. Y'all should come out. If you can't make it, watch the stream November 1st, November 2nd. It's going to be a great time. I think, when do we start on November 1st? We start at 9 a.m. November 1st?
Sounds right. 9 a.m. EST. And then I believe it's noon on Sunday is where we're going to see a lot of the finals. But it's going to be worthwhile watching everything because there's only 32 competitors in 3x3. So you're going to watch some major competitors get knocked out every round. So it's going to be worthwhile to watch both days.
Yeah. Plus, we have an amazing team of commentators. There's me. I might not even be the best on that team, but there's a huge team of commentators. Also, we're gonna get some cool live shots, like in the venue. There will be some live commentary from Providence as well, which is really exciting. It's gonna be a great production, I think.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Plus 3. Again, number one podcast on Speedcubing TV. Tell us in the comments down below, what do you make of applying head-to-head, if that changes anything for your winner in 3x3. What else are you excited about in Nationals? Let us know, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Again, 9 a.m. Eastern sharp. Y'all better be there for for US Nats. It's going to be a huge, fun time. Yeah, thanks for watching Plus 3, and we're going to see you next week, everybody.